Hello, my friends. Nichole Lee here. So I've been having a very clear conversation with Spirit this morning, and I wanted to jump on and share while it was still fresh in my mind, right? Because sometimes when I get these messages, when I have these conversations, they kind of tend to get fuzzy after a while. So what they first told me was to share, right, was you may be feeling like waves of emotions. And when this happens, it's important, like these emotions, these feelings are showing up for you to feel them, process them, heal them, let them go, set them free, right? And then they showed me this really cool visual, okay? So they showed me like all of these feelings, right, in a line, waiting for their turn, right? So there's anger, there could be sadness, there could be depression, there could be joy, there could be anxiety, right? All these feelings just in a line. And when it's their turn, right, they come up and you feel them. And you have a choice when this happens, right? We can feel them, process them, find a healthy outlet, right, to express these feelings and then set them free. Or we can shove them down. We can ignore them because they're uncomfortable, because maybe if we are expressing or feeling this, it's going to make someone else uncomfortable, or there's 1,000 reasons why not to feel things, right? But if we shove it down, all this feeling is going to do is go to the back of the line and wait for its turn again to come up and be healed and be set free. So, and as they were showing me that visual, I was hearing that song from the early 2000s, I think, by Chevelle. I'd send the pain below, much like suffocating, right? That song from that era. And the point of them playing me that song was, it's like, okay, if we have gotten into a habit of just shoving down these feelings, just shoving them down, shoving them down, shoving them down, well, this room in our heart where this line of feelings is waiting to be processed and felt, right? It could get too crowded, which can feel like we're suffocating. It can feel like too much. Or maybe that room where that line is of all those feelings that you've shoved down for so long, maybe it gets so crowded that some of the feelings start like throwing bows, right? And trying to push to the front of the line, right? And then multiple feelings all burst through at one time, right? So if you are feeling these random emotions, right? You're going about your day and all of a sudden you just feel sad. You don't know why. You don't know where it came from. You can't think of anything that happened that caused you to feel this way. It's not important why you're feeling it or where it's coming from. What's important is that I'm hearing you give it a voice. You allow that feeling to be felt, to be seen, to be recognized. You find a healthy outlet, right? If you're experiencing random anger, you can go do some vigorous exercise, right? You can go to one of those batting cages where you just hit the baseballs out of the machine, right? It's going to be different for everyone, how we process things, right? The point is, if you are feeling random waves of emotions, they are coming to be set free. And the thing is, the more that we do this, the more that we set these things free, the more that we clear that room in our heart, the more free we feel, the more receptive we feel, the more balanced we feel, right? And isn't that the goal of everything? Because we want to feel better, right? We all want money. Well, not all of us. Many of us want money. And it's not the actual physical dollars in our hands that we want. It's the feeling of freedom and choice that money gives us, right? It's the way in which it makes our lives easier. So that's kind of the point, okay? If you are feeling these waves of emotions, that line visual was really helpful for me, right? Because it's like, okay, so if it's not appropriate for me to feel angry right now. I don't know why I feel this way right now. And my partner, my kid will be really uncomfortable if I'm feeling angry right now. So I'm just going to shove it down. It's going to go right to the back of that line and wait for its turn again. So it's about finding a healthy outlet. It's about truly feeling and processing and setting these things free, because everything is energy, right? These feelings, these emotions, they're energy. You are the only one that can decide where your energy goes. You are the only one that controls your thoughts, your focus, your energy, right? You're the only one who does that. So this process is deeply personal. It's deeply, I want to say specific. I guess that works. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's going to feel different for each person. And, you know, they gave me another example too, which was really beautiful. So say you have this one feeling that you've been pushing down for so long that it just keeps getting bigger, right? But you just keep pushing it down because maybe it's so big and it feels so dark and so heavy that you just, maybe there's some fear. You don't want to feel it. It doesn't feel good to feel that emotion. It doesn't feel comfortable. It feels scary, right? Whatever it may be. So then they showed me the Hermit card from the tarot. In the Hermit card, we see the Hermit there standing holding his lantern. Inside that lantern is a star from the Star card in the tarot. So if you're not super familiar with the tarot, basically the Hermit card is all about going within, finding your own wisdom, right? Seeking your own wisdom, your own energy, not looking without yourself, right? Not looking out there, finding it within, taking that quiet, that space. And the star, well, the star is about hope. It's about resilience. It's about your true north. It's about your path, your journey, your spiritual self, right? That higher part of you, okay? So when they showed me this Hermit card and pointed out his lantern, it's like, okay, say you have one of these feelings that's so dark because you've been pushing it back for so long. Well, what happens when you shine a light on darkness? Well, it's not dark anymore. The light takes over, right? You have a dark room in your house and you don't like to go in there because it's so dark and you can't see, right? You don't know what might be there. Well, if you flip that switch and turn the light on, it's not dark anymore. So you can use your wisdom, your light. I'm holding the lantern here like the hermit. Your divinity to enlighten, thank you friends, enlighten this darkness within you. And this is not something to feel judgmental about when we have feelings come up, right? We're human. We are here to feel our feelings and have these experiences. We are source experiencing itself through our human bodies, right? So it's not about judging ourselves. It's not about feeling bad that you feel a certain way. It's not about anything like that. It's simply about noticing, paying attention. That's interesting. All of a sudden I'm feeling really sad and I don't know why. Well, maybe you need to cry for a minute. Just release it, right? Just let it out. It's energy. And if you keep pushing it down, then it's stuck in that room in your heart, waiting in line to be expressed, to be released, to be freed and healed. So that was a really cool message. And they just wanted me to share that with you. And I wanted to share it while it was still fresh in my mind. I'm sure there's more details that I'm forgetting already, but I think you get the gist of it. So if you are feeling waves of emotion, that is what they are giving us as the process, right? Finding that healthy outlet. Okay, so we got a couple oracle cards here. Okay, the first one, it says werewolf, exploring wildness. So this feels like it feels like kind of like what I was talking about, right? The wild, there are wild parts inside of you We always have a balance of wild and domesticated, right? There's this balance within us. So what I'm hearing is don't be afraid to explore all of your parts, right? And this isn't to judge. This isn't to do anything other than to know ourselves and to free ourselves of anything that doesn't line up with where we want to go, with how we want to feel, right? It's letting the energy flow. No stop-ups, right? And the next one says scrying, intuition. So the more we do this work, the more we free this energy, the more we become an open conduit, I'm hearing, a clear channel for this energy to flow from source, right, to us and through us, right? And then we naturally, as this energy flows, we embody it, right? We feel it, we act as if. So it's truly about knowing yourself on a deeper level. I just saw 11:11 on my timer. So I hope that this is helpful for some of you. I'm going to pull a couple tarot cards as well, because it really feels like today the message here is to truly take a look, right? To look at what you have going on for yourself, to examine, to know yourself, without judgment, but to shine that light, your light of divinity, on your whole self, right? If you compare yourself to a house, whatever kind of house is your favorite, right? It's this beautiful house. Maybe it's a mansion, maybe it's a cottage, whatever your favorite house is, that's you. You are this house. Source is light. So turn all the lights on in all the rooms. Turn the light on in the attic, right? We're sweeping out corners. We are clearing the dust so that energy can flow freely through us. So we can be those conduits, those channels for source. So we can shine our light into the world and help others to do the same thing, right? To raise our vibration, which in turn helps to raise the collective vibration. And then we have a world where people are walking in the vibration of love, of peace, of unity. We're all on the same team because we're all humans, right? That's a lofty goal, obviously. I don't think it's impossible. It might be a ways off, maybe not, I don't know. But that is the energy that we strive for, right? To constantly be better within ourselves. And then that reverberates to the people that we're closest with. And we raise their vibration just by being us, right? Because we've done the work, because we've healed. We raise our vibrations, which naturally raises the vibrations of people around us. And then since their vibrations raise, it raises the people around them, right? And it's now we have this whole group of people who are loving each other, who are practicing kindness, who are allowing the light of source to flow through them. And I know it's not that simple. I know. I've been around long enough in the real world to understand that it's not that simple. But if we move throughout our days with that as our goal, that's huge. How many people actually do that? How many people actually have that goal and that bigger picture viewpoint of what they want to create, right? Anyway, okay, let's talk about the tarot cards that we got. That went on much longer than I anticipated. Sorry about that. Not sorry. Those things needed to be heard. So if you're still here, I love you so much. Okay, let's look at the tarot cards. The first one that came out is the Ace of Pentacles. This is a new beginning in our material worlds. And this is in relation to the message that was pouring through me, right? This is about allowing the light to flow, and once it leaves you, it starts to touch every aspect of your life. Not only the people around you, but your physical material world as well, right? This is new opportunities. And this is being open to these new opportunities and seeing them and feeling them. These opportunities, I mean, look at the sunshine here. The sunshine is life. Sunshine is vitality. Sunshine is abundance, and joy. So it's being that light, right? And it creates opportunities in our physical worlds too. It spills over. And then we get the Seven of Pentacles. So this is the energy similar to what I was talking about, right? Taking a look, right? So she's grown all of these pentacles. It's not time for harvest yet. It's not quite time. And she's making sure that she wants to continue with this, right? Or maybe she wants to take some of these seeds that she's already planted that are already starting to harvest and plant more over here, right? Like it's about taking a look. Where are you sending your energy? What are you focusing on? Is this where you are sending this, what you are focusing on? Is this in alignment with how you want to feel? Is this in alignment with your future that you want to create, right? It's taking a look. 7 is also a number for me of deep personal spiritual growth, of knowing ourselves, right? It's that energy of like that line, right? Of processing and healing all of these feelings and emotions. And many of us have been pushing things down since we were little, right? Perhaps the adults around us weren't comfortable with anger or weren't comfortable with sadness. So we learned never to show those things. So anytime we felt those things as a little kid, right, without knowing any better, we thought it was wrong to feel those things. So we push it away. Now is the time. I'm hearing, especially in November, there are a lot of planets going retrograde in November. Retrogrades are not negative. Retrogrades are a time to pause, a time to look, reflect, remember, reorganize, right? It's all those words, okay? So the month of November, I feel like, and I know it's still just October, but this feels like a message where this energy is coming in, this time for us to really take a look, right? It's also important for us to rest. We got the 4 of Swords here. So swords are the mental suit. I just heard, give your mind a break. Many of us have thought after thought after thought after thought, right? It's that monkey mind where it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. Give your mind a rest. Give your thoughts a break. Even if that just means taking 5 minutes every day to consciously not think, is what I'm hearing, right? If you just could sit still somewhere for 5 minutes, focus on a sound. Say you can hear a heater or an air conditioning, or you have a fish tank and it's bubbling, right? Focus on a sound and just focus on hearing that sound for 5 minutes. And I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm saying that thinking is bad. It's absolutely not, right? We're human. We're never going to stop thinking. What I'm saying is it's time to rest, right? Physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically. You have to allow yourself to rest during this process of sifting and sorting and releasing and freeing this energy. Thank you, Spirit. Allow yourself to rest. It's very important. And it would be 4, right? 4 of Swords. 4 is a number of stability, of the stable foundation that we have created for ourselves. Rest is a big part of that, right? You have to have that balance of rest and work, right? So kind of a heavy message today. Interesting. And what card is this? I think, let me see. Yeah. It's the 10 of Cups. It's the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is a card of complete emotional fulfillment and joy, right? Traditionally on this card, we see, I just heard having your cake and eating it too. Traditionally on this card, we see the whole family sitting together, and there's a beautiful house behind them, and they're laughing and they're joyful and they're playing and they're so happy. That's that feeling, right? And that's the feeling, like that's the goal when we are doing this work. And this work is not something to be afraid of. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be scary. It just is. It's just a part of why we're here, right? And if your goal is to be a clear and open channel, if your goal is to be a lighthouse for others, if your goal is to just live a balanced, happy, joyful life, we have to clear these things out. We have to do this healing. We have to trust ourselves enough to be vulnerable with ourselves. Okay? We have to trust ourselves enough to be vulnerable with ourselves. Thank you, friends. Yeah. Interesting. It all ties together, right? It all ties together. And there's also, they want me to remind you, right? When you're feeling these feelings, this doesn't have to be like a feeling that you wallow in all day long and you start to feel sad and you want to process it and feel it. So you feel sad for 12 hours. It doesn't have to be that. If that's how long feels good to you, okay, then do that. But it doesn't have to be that, okay? There really, truly is no wrong or right way to do this work. It's so highly subjective. It's so highly personal how we each process and heal, right? So just keep that in mind. Allowing yourself to feel these challenging emotions, right? Nobody likes to feel super sad. Nobody likes to feel angry. Allowing ourselves to feel these things doesn't mean we have to feel them for 24 hours, for 10 hours, even for 1 hour, right? Whatever it takes, that's up to you, right? Whenever it clicks for you, you can be done. Done, right? All right, what is this? 7 of Swords. Yeah, okay. So 7 of Swords, it's about thinking outside the box and doing things differently, right? And it's about, I'm hearing, being honest with yourself. And when you have that goal, when you have something in mind that is really important to you, finding a way to do so, finding a way to make it happen, finding a way to align with it and allow it into your experience, even if that doesn't look like the traditional or standard thing that someone would do, right? It's doing what feels right to you, regardless of what it looks like to someone else. And the thing so there's blackbirds here, right? Blackbirds, ravens, crows are intuition to me, right? That knowing. And then there's also this tree, the roots are really big. Like, look how big the base of this tree is. So it's like, I feel like what it's saying is doing this work will help you to strengthen your foundation. It will help you to lay your roots in a deeper way, right? And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. You know, the Fool's journey becomes the hero's journey in the tarot, right? You might start out as the Fool, kind of naive and just bopping along without a plan, without any ideas of how things are going to happen or whatever. But by the end of it, we are this powerful, centered, aligned being. And what I'm really feeling with this Fool energy here is it's like when you take the time and put forth the effort to become this more pure version of yourself, right? We brush off all the garbage, we dust all the corners, we shine the light, and we become this more light-free, pure version of ourselves. Well, when we do that, new pathways open up for us, new things that we never considered before, new ideas, new inspirations, right? Our energy changes. More people are drawn to talk to us and interact with us, right? Because when you shift your energy, everything else follows suit in your life. Everything else shifts too. That's just science. Like attracts like, right? So it's about processing, healing, letting go. I'm not going to keep talking about it. I feel like I just keep saying the same things. If you're still here, I think you get the message, right? It's a time of processing. It's a time of healing. It's a time of allowing the divine to fill us up. It's a time of honing our self-mastery It's a time of polishing that lantern so that our star illuminates everything, right? So we become that light. And if you are receiving this video, then this is for you as well, obviously. I always intend these go wherever they're meant to go, in the perfect timing, divine timing. That's a beautiful message, truly. Yeah, and underneath the Fool is a Strength card. It's like just, it's discovering, because when we process, it's like we discover this new strength within ourselves. Our confidence grows. Our trust in ourselves grows, right? And we become this safe space for ourselves. And when you have that as your foundation, please, you're unstoppable. There is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. You are truly a limitless being. Limitless. The only limitations are the ones we put on ourselves. That's it. My friend, thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for receiving this message. I just adore sharing them with you. If you would like a personal session with me, contact me via my website, starseedintuitive.com, or you can DM me on Instagram at starseedintuitive. So until next time, my friends, thank you for receiving all the light directly from my heart into yours. Take care.